Number 3 of nofap.
July 11th, 2020 was the first time I officially started a semen retention streak. And as this channel grows, we're focusing more on fitness, looks, maxing these other aspects. I do not want to leave behind my roots, which is going to be retention and spirituality. Now, I actually became a YouTuber because of retention. This was something I dreamt of ever since I was a child, but I never actually had the courage, I never had that fire to actually do it. But retention was that thing that really bridged the gap between me thinking about it and me actually doing it. So that first video that you saw, that was my first ever YouTube video. It was a documentary, and that led into a lot of other videos, a lot of content that you guys have never seen. But overall, it got me into this in the first place. So retention, man, it has completely transformed my life, and not just with YouTube, every single aspect of my life. So today is all about retention and how it can make you a great, legendary man, just like the legends before us who have practiced it. Let's go. There are great people like millionaires, billionaires, and then there are the legends, the people like Elon Musk, Nikola Tesla, Mike Tyson, Steve Jobs, the people who changed the world forever. And there's one thing all these people have in common, and it's that they were celibate. They would do semen retention. Now, a lot of people will practice retention and you will not feel a single benefit. And I kind of have a belief that it comes down to a couple things. It comes down to your spiritual energy, if you're in touch with who you actually are. Because some people, man, you can eat fast food all day, every day. You don't feel the difference it makes on your body. But then some people, they're so conscious of themselves. If they have some KFC, they're going to feel like crap for the entire day because they're so conscious of their energy and every single aspect. But some people, man, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be blunt. Some of you guys are like NPCs. Like you could blow 100 loads and not feel different whatsoever. If I blow 5 loads, I feel exhausted, man. Now, the modern world we live in is very strange, man. Everything is hypersexualized. Pornography is at an all-time high, and it's pretty much normalized to be a pornography addict. Now, I've told other people, this was a mistake, guys. Never tell other people you're retaining. Never tell people you're celibate. Even women, man. Like, if a woman tries to hook up with you, don't say it's because you're on retention. Just say, I'm good. You know, like, I don't want to. Like, just say anything, but don't say that you're on retention. It is actually pretty much, it's almost frowned upon. You're viewed as a very weird person if you are practicing this. I've had a lot of religious people, spiritual people always act like retention is this very strange thing. And honestly, I've not broken down exactly why people think it's such a strange practice. If you have any ideas, comment down below, because there is no science against it. Literally, there is no science against retention. And overall, it's going to increase your energy, it's going to increase your frequency, and everyone who does it typically becomes much, much more successful. And today I was thinking about something. Whenever you're releasing, you get trapped inside this little box. It's fucking weird. It's like the Matrix. But then whenever you retain, you hold this energy in. It's like those walls just burst open. That's why whenever I first started retention, I started YouTube. And then the last retention streak I did, I started my first supplement company, which is something I dreamt about ever since I was a child, just like YouTube. Like anytime I've ever retained, man, I end up doing something really cool that I've always wanted to do, but there was a wall, like I was boxed in and I can't explain it. So if you're feeling boxed in, if you feel like you cannot make the jump to the next level, retention could easily bridge that gap. And now a lot of you guys think it's some mental thing. Maybe it is, but there has to be a reason why all of the greats all throughout history have practiced this. Even celebrities, man, like Orlando Bloom, other celebrities like this, a lot of people are on retention, man. The Weeknd made a song about retention.
Cell phone blowing up, but I'm waiting for the right person. You wanna hold hands and sign me up, but just know you're not gonna score. I'm a virgin, never got close enough, pure as a dove, and I'm waiting for the right person. Never once been touched, the power of God in my loins.
Well, it was a parody, and honestly, man, people typically make jokes of the truth. So I have a very strong feeling that even The Weeknd is retaining, but then his public persona is this guy who gets all this pussy, like he's just drowning in pussy, when the reality is, I'm sure he conserves all of that energy, focuses on music, And that's why he's number one. That's why he takes over the game. So everyone who's a legend, man, they practice this because your sexual energy is your life force energy. This can make or break your success, in my opinion. Now, a lot of modern men are like complete animals. Think of like a dog. Like whenever a dog gets horny, he's gonna start humping anything. Like he's gonna start humping a shoe. He's gonna start humping your leg, like anything and everything. You guys are just like that. You get a little bit horny, you go, ugh. You get a little bit horny, you hit up your toxic ex. You get a little bit horny, you download Tinder, hump the first thing in sight. It's animalistic. Like, do you not have any class, any sophistication? Not to mention all these soul ties that you're creating with these people. Whenever you hook up with all these strangers, man, it's an energy exchange. So if you hook up with a woman, let's say she's got all this trauma, all this anxiety, all this depression, it's not just a physical thing, man. It is a spiritual experience. That's why whenever you have sex, you feel a little bit different. I've had sex with women, man. I feel completely connected to them on an emotional level. Like I can feel what they're feeling. And it's only after we have sex. It's like Avatar. Like for them to have sex, they connect their little things together and then they're connected to each other. You know, it's that bond. So for me, every time I retain, it kind of helps burst through any plateaus. It helps open up that creativity and just overall be on the path that I'm supposed to be on. Now, in addition to this, growing up, especially in high school, I would always have intense social anxiety. I could never speak. I was very insecure. I could not hold eye contact with anybody. And I remember I would even walk, man. This was a couple years ago, even like 2020. I remember walking, you just feel so insecure, like your head's down, like your shoulders are slanted forward. You just do not feel very confident. But you do retention, man, even 3 weeks, you start walking differently. Everyone will start staring at you like you have a glow. And you could think this is in your head, but literally, man, everywhere I go, people will stare at me obsessively. And maybe it's because I'm on retention. Maybe it's because I'm 6'5" and built like a Greek god. And obviously you're gonna have a lot more testosterone whenever you practice this. I've always discussed this. The best scientific research is going to be Jesse James West's little project where he boosted his testosterone by 100 points in 30 days, which is pretty crazy just from retaining. And then the other study where after 7 days, spiked by 150%. Overall, and obviously testosterone is going to give you more confidence. It's going to spark that little fire inside of you to get after your goals. It's also going to increase lots of brain clarity. Like you can think very, very clearly, but then whenever you're busting all the time, you got all this brain fog, man. Like you can't even think clearly. Now, the only time I've relapsed is from sex on retention. Like I said, I never beat off. I never watched the videos. I just told myself it was never an option. But anytime you do feel like relapsing, whether that's jerking off, whether that's having sex with a 304, just think of your purpose, man. Think of what you really want the most out of life. Get obsessed about it. This sounds intense, but it works. So think about not the moment. Don't think about the present moment. The present moment, you want to nut. Think about the future. Think about 5 years from now. What kind of legacy do you want to create? Personally, man, I want a family in the future. I want a brilliant wife, awesome children, and then I need to accomplish all of my goals. And the best way to do that is to retain the energy, because if you're hooking up with all these girls, man, who don't mean anything to you, or just fapping pointlessly on the internet, you're wasting your energy that you could be putting into your legacy. You could become great, but you're stunting yourself. No one else is doing it to you. You're doing it to yourself. You're cucking yourself, man, and you're not getting to the next level. Now, it's also going to help to stay away from social media, and then obviously Tinder. You cannot have Tinder if you're trying to retain or do nofap. Those are going to be triggers. Social media, for the most part, will also be a trigger. Honestly, unless you have an online presence, a personal brand, you should not be on social media. And if you do, create some content, post it, and then get the fuck off there, man. Like, you don't need to stay on that platform. Post your stuff, get off. That's all you need to do. And just remember exactly how you will feel every time you bust. Personally, whenever I bust, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like my IQ drops quite a bit. Like sometimes I'll film a video after I bust even, and I'm like, wow, I really sound like I even speak like I am less intelligent. Like overall, I feel like my intelligence goes down. I feel a little bit more insecure in public. I get nervous, I have more anxiety, I don't sleep as well. there's a lot of things that happen. You could say it's in your head, but personally, man, I feel a night and day difference when I'm retaining versus when I'm nutting. And to me, I think it's worth it to retain. So my kings, let's retain to get the gains. I was reluctant to make this video just because a lot of people stalk this channel and I don't want people knowing that I've done retention. I want to keep this a secret. So if you're watching this, you're welcome. You're included to the secret. If you actually want to incorporate this into your life, it will actually help you go to the next level. I believe that if you're truly a chosen one, if you truly have a great message that God wants you to spread, you will naturally be drawn to retention. And maybe this video will help you get started. So that's it. Link in the description box for one-on-one coaching, my kalosique supplements, merchandise, and anything else I offer, all down below. Also, guys, like this video and subscribe to the channel to push it out into that YouTube algorithm. That's it. I'm gone. I love you guys.